Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. This meta guide is going to be in the Ultra League Premier Classic. So basically what this league is, it means that obviously you play in the Ultra League, but legendaries as well as Pokemon that have been powered up past level 40 with XL Candy are not eligible. So you can use anything else, just not those Pokemon. But yeah, we're going to take a look at what I think some of the best Pokemon are going to be, some of the best teams. And this league will begin tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in addition to the Open Ultra League. So let me know which league you will be playing. If you don't have XLs, this is probably the league for you, because the Ultra League is filled with XL Pokemon, although you could also make a non-XL team work, but you get the point. This has no XLs in it, as well as no legendaries. But let's go ahead and dive right into it, see what we got going on for us. So for the S rank, we have a couple of wing attack users that I think are going to be really good, Charizard and Gliscor. Now, to be fair, I think they were decent last season or previous seasons, especially the Charizard. But, you know, I think they're even better now, of course, with Wing Attack. Now, Wing Attack is a legacy on Charizard, but it is worth the investment because even though they are retiring the Classic Cups, unfortunately, next season, they are going to be retiring them. Charizard with Wing Attack is still good even in the Open Ultra League, so you'll definitely find some use out of it for sure outside of this cup. Gliscor is a non-XL Pokemon in general, even in the Open Great League, so a great Pokemon. Both of them, Wing Attack, charging up really fast. I think both of them are really solid, and I do recommend Wing Attack on both. Then we have Trevenant. Trevenant, another great one. It does have to watch out for the Flyers, right? As well as like some ice types that are going to be strong now because of the Flyers. But other than that, you know, it's still a top performing Pokemon. And Trevenant, of course, is going to see some play, and you will definitely see it. Then we have a Dragonite. Of course, Dragonite got superpower last season. Going to be a really strong Pokemon. Dragon Breath, Dragon Tail, whichever way you go. Going to be really strong. Swampet's always strong. We talk about Swampet all the time. It's good in the Open Ultra League. Of course, it's going to be good in the Ultra League Premier Classic. So it's a great Pokemon. Then we're going to move on to the A rank. We have another Dragon type. So kommo-o is a great dragon, especially if you're going with double dragons, Dragonite and kommo-o. And then you have Steelix. Steelix did get the Psychic Fangs last season. It has Dragon Tail. It is a strong Pokemon. Going to be doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I mean, Steelix is going to be a good one. I still need to get a good Steelix. Yeah, I mentioned that I think in the Ultra League guide. One of the videos I mentioned it. I still need a good Steelix. Then we have sirfetch'd. So sirfetch'd, a good fighting type counter, right? One of the best ones in this meta, I think. Then we have a couple ice types. Aurorus is a new addition because it does get Meteor Beam now. And to be honest, I think ice types, Aurorus and Walrein, are going to be good in this meta. Because of the Flyers like Gliscor and Charizard. Charizard's a fire type as well, so it's taking neutral from ice. But still, you know, I mean, maybe you'll see some other Flyers as well. But so I think ice is definitely going to be pretty solid in this meta. I can't wait to see the Aurorus. I definitely have to build one. I don't have a good Aurorus, unfortunately. I only have a good one for the Great League. I need to get a good one for the Ultra League. But I think those two ice types. Walrein was nerfed last season. Icicle Spear was nerfed. It's still a great Pokemon, so you know, and as I said, even better now since the flying types are going to be popular. So the next up is going to be the B tier. We have Gyarados with Dragon Breath or Waterfall, whatever team you need that for. But yeah, I mean, Gyarados has always been a great addition to the Ultra League Premier Classic Cups. Always been good. Always will be, I'm pretty sure. So really strong Pokemon. Then we have Escavalier. So Escavalier, a great counter user, one of my favorites. Obviously, it has to watch out for the Flyers as well, like Charizard and like Gliscor, but still, I mean, it's still a great Pokemon. Then we have Machamp or Shadow Machamp, another great fighting type, probably on the same level as Sirfetch'd, to be honest. They're both really good. Maybe you could swap spots. Maybe the Shadow Machamp goes in the A rank and the Sirfetch'd goes in the B rank. They're both really good though. So of course, Shadow Machamp going to be really strong. Then we have a Charm user with Togekiss. Now, Togekiss was nerfed this season because Charm was nerfed. But to be fair, it wasn't nerfed that much. So it's still a strong Pokemon. It's still really powerful. And it's going to do well. Especially since there's not a whole lot of... I mean, there's some Steel types like Empoleon. But there's not a whole lot of Steel types you'll probably run into. So I think Togekiss is going to do really well. And we have Empoleon. Empoleon is one of those Steel types, but yeah, really strong with Waterfall, Drill Peck, Hydro Cannon, a really powerful Pokemon. It does need that Community Day move, Hydro Cannon. And then we're going to move on to the other options. We have Sneasler. So Sneasler with that Shadow Claw. It's pretty frail, but it is really good as well. going to be getting to the moves pretty fast, pretty powerful. Then we have Snorlax, a really bulky Pokemon, or Shadow Snorlax, obviously a great save swap, always a great save swap, right? Then we have Glade. Glade does have to watch out for the Flyers as well because it is weak. Not only is it weak to Wing Attack, but it's also not doing much with the charge attacks to Charizard. But at the same time, I mean, the confusions are adding up because Charizard is a pretty frail Pokemon. So I imagine we still see it for sure. And we have Overqwil. Overqwil is a Dark and Poison type. Pretty strong, yep. I mean, I like this Pokemon a lot. I definitely want to use this one in the Ultra League Premier Classic this season. So looking forward to trying that out. We have another Dragon type, Goodra. I'd probably stick with Dragonite and kommo-o, but Goodra, I mean, if you feel it, I mean, it's not really spicy. It's a strong Pokemon, but I think the other two are better. But still, I mean, Goodra could see some play. Obstagoon. Obstagoon is another counter user, another strong one at that. So you guys know Obstagoon. Then we have Nidoqueen. So yes, Nidoqueen was nerfed. I haven't battled a single one this season yet. It does take 6 Poison Jabs to get to Poison Fang instead of 5. It used to take 5. It's still good. I still think we might see it in the Ultra League Premier Classic. Obviously, it's not as good. You won't see it as often, but still going to be pretty tanky being in the Ultra League. So I do think it's still okay, but it's obviously not as good. It's not like S or A tier like it would be, right? Then we have Venusaur, another poison type. Venusaur, of course, a good Pokemon. But Venusaur is another one that has to watch out for the Flyers, right? So keep that in mind. And then Poliwrath. Poliwrath with Scald, with Ice Punch, I think is a great combination. I think that's probably the moveset you would go with. The Ice Punch to hit the Flyers, Scald to hit the Fire types like Charizard, or the Steel, well, I guess, yeah, like Steelix. Dynamic Punch is good as well, though. Then we have Milotic. Milotic is a Dragon Tail user. It also has Waterfall, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty tanky Pokemon, pretty strong one. Abomasnow is yet another Pokemon that may see some more play with those fly. But again, so when I say Flyers, in this meta, there's not a whole lot of Flyers. Gliscor is pretty much the big one. Charizard as well, but Charizard's also a Fire type, so it's taking neutral damage. It's not weak to it. But, I still think Abomasnow is pretty good. You're not going to see Pokemon probably like Pidgeot because you need XLs for that. It maxes out too low if you don't get up to level 50. Same with Noctowl, right? So you're probably not going to see those. I think the biggest was only Gliscor and obviously the Charizard. The Charizard is going to be the big one. Then we have the Cantonian Muck. So Cantonian Muck with Poison Jab, Thunder Punch, and Dog Pulse. So that's going to be the Ultra League Premier Classic for you. Let's go ahead and move on to the solid team options. So for the first team, we're going to have double Wing Attack teams, and I think we'll probably see this. We have Charizard with Wing Attack and Gliscor. As I mentioned, Charizard is a legacy moveset with Wing Attack. If you want. I do think it's worth it, as I already mentioned, because you'll get use out of it outside of the Premier Classic Cups. But yeah, so those two Pokemon, 2 Wing Attack users, we're going to have Trevenant in the lead. Obviously, Trevenant, not really, the backline obviously not really going to want to see, I guess, Rock types. Charizard doesn't want to see Rock. Gliscor doesn't want to see Ice. Charizard does okay against Ice. And then you have Trevenant in the lead. So pretty solid team. This whole team does well against fighting types. So you don't really have to worry about fighting types with this team. I could see this team working out really well. And to be honest, I probably want to try this team. I have a Shadow Gliscor build. I need to build a Wing Attack Charizard. I do have a Trevenant build. But yeah, no, pretty strong team, I think. Pretty strong team. But then we're going to move on to a double ice team. So, of course, the double ice going to be Aurorus and Wolverine. Both of those are going to be weak to fighting. Charizard with Wing Attack going to be dishing out super effective damage. So pretty strong there, I think. You could use the Wolverine as a safe swap. Or, I mean, either one, I guess. But, I'm probably liking the Wolverine. But either way, strong team. Next up, we have the Empoleon Double Dragon team. This team I hit Legend with back in Season 6, I think. And, of course, I was using Kingdra instead. And you could definitely use Kingdra instead of kommo-o. But, of course, the backline is weak to Charm. But the thing is, I don't think we're going to see Charm as much nowadays. I still think you'll see it because it's still powerful. But, even if you do, you could lure it out maybe with the kommo-o. And then with Empoleon, bring it in, and then sweep with the other dragon, something like that. Sweep with the Dragonite, right? But again, you could go with the Kingdra instead of kommo-o if you want to. Then we're going to move on to another team. We have Glade, as I mentioned earlier. Glade does have to watch out because the Flyers, like the Wing Attack users, right? Like Charizard and Gliscor. But the Confusions are still doing a lot. And it's still a good Pokemon. Snorlax is a great safe swap, and then Swampert, of course, is going to do really well against Charizard and Gliscor. And that's going back to the first team, right? Obviously, the backline doesn't like Swampert, but Trevenant does well against Swampert. So that's why I put Trevenant in the lead. But yeah, anyway, moving on to another team, we have Gyarados with Dragon Breath or Waterfall. I think I'm leaning towards Dragon Breath on this Gyarados. And then we have Togekiss and Steelix. So yeah, I mean, pretty well-rounded team, I think. Pretty solid team. You could save swap into the Steelix because even if they have an answer to it, the Dragon Tails is still doing a lot of damage to it. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty strong team. Then moving on, we have Escavalier in the lead with Aurorus in the back and Dragonite in the back. So, yeah, let me know what you think of these teams. I think they're looking pretty good. I'm really, really interested in trying the first team, the double wing attack user team with Trevenant. That's the team I really want to try. Probably give the double dragon team a try again. But let me know what team you plan on using. In addition, let me know if you plan on playing in the Ultra League Premier Classic, or if you have XLs, are you going to be playing in the Open Ultra League? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.